And welcome back. Our upcoming guest now is one who initiated a program that's in response to the difficulties and challenges his family faced and encountered when his two youngest children were diagnosed with autism. As a dedicated husband and a father of five, his mission has grown way beyond his family, educating and raising awareness within the community about autism and broader disability related issues. Joining me now, I'm joined by the founder of I Am Defeating Autism Daily, Quentin Mezetin. And Quentin, good to have you.
Thank you, Daren. I really appreciate that warm welcome.
No, I really thank you. And so this really for you is based on personal experience. You had the opportunity to really get educated and then also create an awareness based on personal experience.
Yes. As a father of five children, my last two children were diagnosed with autism. But before they were diagnosed, I just started to see delays in their milestones. Having five, I knew what milestones look like. But then my last two, they started not hitting them as quickly as I would have hoped. But when I spoke to people, they told me it was nothing, just wait, don't worry about it. And that kind of didn't sit well with me because I want my kids to speak. I want them to eat. I want them to do the things like normal kids do. So it took me a couple years of first self-diagnosing and then finally getting a medical diagnosis that my kids had autism. And I didn't like that delay. That delay costed me a lot of things that I didn't know. Cost me a lot of opportunities to possibly get social security for them, early intervention, ABA therapy, things that would have really helped their development early on. I was delayed. And then that just got me angry. I would say it made me want to fight back because I was just like, why would they do this to me? And the more research I'd done, I realized that this wasn't just me. Most people, the average white child, according to the CDC, was diagnosed and treated at 1 year old when they saw delays, but the average black child was diagnosed and treated around 4 and 5 years old. So then I took it as a systemic thing like, wait a minute, if I don't fight, I don't have a lot of people that's going to fight for me.
Right.
So I started doing more research. And that's where I am dad. I am defeating autism daily. I'm not here to cure autism. The more I learned about it, it's a superpower. But I'm fighting the low limitations and limited expectations that are put on people that have that label because I didn't want those put on my sons because of their delays. I wanted to help them become independent so they could live normal, happy lives and follow their own dreams. And for me to do that, I just realized in this world, I'm going to have to fight for them until they can fight for themselves.
And you began this fight. You began this fight with awareness and really creating based out of your own pain and really looking and saying, the process was so long. So now you cut across the field and now you're helping families and you're helping individuals out. So when we talk about I Am Dad defeating autism daily, what does that consist of in terms of in the public space?
Public space. This year I was just elected into the City Education Council for D75, part of the Department of Education. So I have a seat there, really helping families with the whole curriculum and connection with the schooling system for their children in special education. And I'm also part of the Office of Hate Crimes through the Mayor's Office and PATH, Partners Against the Hate, where I'm helping bridge the gap and raising awareness for ableism, which is to stop ableism, which is discrimination against people with cognitive disabilities and disabilities in all sorts. Now, what it looks like I Am Dad is more just empowering parents. So we're not here to cure autism. What we're here to do is empower parents of the resources and how to access them and how to use them and implement them so they can become better families and more supportive to their children becoming independent. And then letting them understand the awareness of what the world is going to do and how they can protect themselves going forward.
What are some of the normal challenges that we're seeing that parents of children with autism are facing? What are some of the things that you can enlighten us to?
A lot of children are nonverbal. And there are studies outside of so many Like there's studies outside of the school system that are helping kids become verbal by like 87 to 90% of the time. These resources are not available to everyone. And it helped me. My kids were nonverbal until I found people that said, hey, you do not have to accept that limitation. Let us help you. And now my kids are speaking. There are also different delays when it comes to independence using the bathroom. There are a lot of kids that still wear diapers as they become teens and adults. That's something that has been corrected for so many people, but it's just not implemented. So a lot of times I just kind of find like, you know what? We have a lot of things we got to fight just as adults, just as living in America, we have to fight. But we don't have to fight so many of these battles for so long that have been corrected for so many millions of people. So I just bridge the gap with the things that I found. Suffering, like there's so many parents that didn't know they could have Social Security disability, which could be an extra $300 to $500 a month for their children while they were during this diagnosis. That can help put food on the table for them, help them to take them to other therapies or add therapy sessions. And once I realized that these gaps weren't being brought to parents, I just decided like I had to fight for these. Let me share these opportunities with other people so they can just feel more empowered, more supported, and feel connected that, hey, my kids can become independent. I don't have to just live in quiet desperation.
Yeah. And so for people who need to find out more information in regards of how to deal and the resources that are available, what are some of the easiest places they can go to?
Oh, like, oh, you can go to my website, www.iamdads.com, and you can follow me on social media, IG, imd.a.d. And I would say if you come to my website, I can actually break down the tools where they're just kind of more condensed. So there's a lot of organizations. There are a lot of organizations out there, and it's so much. So I just wanted to I was confused. So what I just did was I just helped myself condense it so I can point you to directly. You could download my ebook, which is the first things you should do to build a foundation once you find out the diagnosis. And it just helps you with all the things from Social Security, from early intervention, from different type of medical OPWD resources that you can do early by yourself so you can have the best foundation for the future.
Yeah, well, I definitely want to thank you so much for being with us and sharing. I think it's important that people understand that, first of all, when you're going through this, that you're not by yourself. Sometimes you have people who have similar experiences and they can learn from the fact that you've had an experience, but now you've taken that experience and now created some exposure and awareness that a lot of people can tap into. So, Quentin, thank you so much for being with us, man.
Thank you for having me, Dan. I really appreciate it.
Oh, much appreciated, my brother. Much appreciated. And want to let you know if you want more information, do me a favor, go to iamdads.com. And there you can find out more information about Quentin and the organization.